we will get a helicopter that will land in front of the hospital. So usually the nurse manager is so funny. She goes, "Hey, if you drive, do you want to come to the community, just have a look before you accept the offer?" And I said, "No need to. I'm coming, Slan. If you want to apply for a job in public hospital, there's a website called Smart Job." So once I graduated, took me maybe 2 months to get my license and 3 months to get a job. So
sky's the limit.
So hello guys, in this video we are talking about regional areas, hospitals in regional areas, what are the opportunities in regional areas versus the metropolitan city, and briefly we'll be more talking about Queensland, different areas of Queensland, either it's regional or metropolitan. Don't forget to watch our other podcast as well, and if you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe and share. So hello everyone, my name is Sachin and we are here today with one of our nurse from Queensland, and we'll like first of all herself to introduce to all our audience where she is from, what she's doing right now, what she did, how she did, what was the whole journey about.
hello everyone. Am I starting?
Yeah.
My name is Ejia. Yeah. All right. So now currently I'm working in Southeast Queensland and can't really say which city. I live in the Gold Coast. I work in a ED, which is quite that is quite busy there. And but previously I mostly work in the rural area. I quite enjoy it, but like my sister lives in the metro area, so I thought, oh, I wanted to move closer to her. So I moved to the city this year, and so I started in Brisbane. Before that, I was working holiday. I'm from Taiwan. I wasn't doing nursing, and I came to Australia working holiday, work in a nursing home as a backpacker and as a carer or support worker, something like that. Yeah. And I also got another job in childcare as well. So I worked 2 jobs and I really like it here. So I thought might stay here longer. And yeah, I decided to study nursing. Yeah. So that's how I started.
When you came as a backpacker and you started working as a carer, did you do the Cert 3 or you got the job?
No, so that was 9 years ago.
It was 9 years ago.
9 years ago, and it was in Northern Territory. It was in like community, indigenous community, and I have to say, like my role, like my position was called support worker. It wasn't AIM. I don't know if like you probably don't need a certificate if you work as a carer or support worker, right? Yeah, I don't know if Brisbane right now, Queensland, or in your state, you're from where are you located? Yeah. Do you need a certificate to work as a support worker?
Presently in Adelaide we need it, but I had a chat with a guy. He's in like super rural area of the state. They even don't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess like a long time ago, you don't need it.
So you came first like around 9 years ago. You worked as a support worker over there. And then you also worked as a in childcare in NT or somewhere else.
Yeah. Yes. So when I was looking for a job, I think when you are looking for jobs, sometimes you just take for a while to get it. And when you get it, just 2 jobs or multiple jobs pop up. And because the childcare offered me better hours, like it's a full-time hours, Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And then in the nursing home, they also asked me to work, like help out with them as well. So they have like split shifts. They have a shift like 2 shifts. You come in the morning, shower, help with toileting, having morning medication, and then breakfast, and then you go home. You have a like 6 hour break at home and come back later at night. And local girls, sometimes they just don't come back for the second shifts. So I sometimes get a phone call from nursing home. They say, "Hey, we need to do need someone to do a second shift. So would you like to come to help us out?" So when I finish childcare, I'll go. Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
okay.
go help.
It
So
might
I
be,
work.
it might be the
Yeah,
busy stuff.
that would be 12 hours. Well, like nursing home in rural area, and it's really rural. It's like a 6 hour or 7 hours drive to Darwin. So it's
Wow.
not in Darwin, it's a remote area. Yeah. We have 8 residents in the nursing home that live there, and then they have like a community services. So they have like a youth goes out, pick up everyone. So maybe 10-ish or 15-ish people come to the facility, have breakfast in the facility, have lunch, and then after lunch you drop them off back to the community. And also they do like Meals on Wheels. So residential aged care side of things, it's not really busy. Yeah, they do a lot of community work as well. Yeah.
So what after that? What got you into nursing?
Um, so the first thing is I saw other registered nurse because the boss in the nursing home is a registered nurse.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, I can do this. This is something I can do. And the second thing is, I can stay here for long term, like, and you always get a job after graduate. And I thought, yeah, good job, good. It's a good choice. So I narrowed down to auto mechanic and like registered nurse. Discuss with my mom, and mom say, "No, you are a girl, so just become a nurse." Yeah.
So
So I become a
what do you used to do in Taiwan?
I work in L'Oreal. So I work for a cosmetic company, work in a headquarter. So I was in the sales. I was doing marketing, trade marketing. I was doing doing that like combo. So plan the combos, set up the price, and make the gifts to go with combo, and also talk to the department stores from the like as a window from the brand. Yeah.
So from L'Oreal's marketing to
Yeah.
Northern Territories carer to Queensland nurse. So how then what about how did you start your nursing, Bachelor of Nursing? From which university did you do it?
Sorry, what?
Which university? Your nursing.
Oh, QUT. Yeah, yeah. I graduated from QUT, and so once I graduated, took me maybe 2 months to get my license, and 3 months to get a job. So I started to work in a nursing home in south side of Brisbane. Let's not say which nursing home. It wasn't really nice in nursing home. The environment wasn't really supportive, and pay was terrible. Management was quite bad, and they wanted me to do.
Yeah, which year are we in when you were in the nursing?
Oh, it was in 2017. So the pay was they offered $23 for a registered nurse.
You won't believe when I started my first job over here, I also worked in nursing home. They offered me 25 in 2019.
Yeah. So not much improving, isn't it? Yeah. So I worked there for 4 months, and my manager wanted he roasted me to do night shifts. So I was doing 9 night shifts in a 4-night and continuously. So there's no other shifts, just night shifts.
Were they giving you weekends?
Yes, Saturday. So it's like yeah, I another girl, she she does weekends. So then I get to have break on Sunday. So we kind of rotate. Yeah. But I was the main person to do the night shift because night shifts. So they only need to find another nurse to do another 5 shifts to make up a full night, right? So we kind of rotate. So on top of the penalty, night shift penalty, it was about $26 something. Yeah. Yeah.
We used to
It
get
was tough.
after doing night, after the penalty, 27 point something.
Yeah, man, no. Like, but were you doing a lot of night shifts?
Not much. Like I used to do evenings. It was similar, 27 something, 27.10 or 20 for evening,
Yeah.
and 28 for the night. So there was not like much difference.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a shame. But anyway, I would say nursing home got us into a second job. I got my second job because I so wanted to leave the environment. I was applying for work in the hospital everywhere, and it is hard when you don't have experience in the hospital. But I managed to find one in the southwest Queensland, which is 7-8 hours drive to Brisbane, another remote area.
Any city to around that area so that I can get where is south?
The closest, Roma will be the biggest town
Okay.
to that area, and Roma is kind of like a hub in that area in Southwest District. So yeah, that's that far. And yeah, I worked there for a while, 2 years, 1.5 years.
How did you got there? Did you like how was the experience by interview? And I would like to say all of them who are looking, how I met this lady was I was just checking what will be the environment of interviewing when you're applying for hospital or you're going. And I saw her videos. I'll also put a description link. You can see many videos. And I've also seen your some videos when you go to farm with your friend, and I think a lot of I saw a lot of them.
Yeah.
How was it?
Yeah. How was it? So I found a job on the like smart job. So in Queensland, if you want to apply for a job in public hospital, there's a website called Smart Job. So I just apply jobs on the website, and then it's been, I've been applying a lot for jobs a lot. Like I couldn't even remember I applied for that specific hospital. So one day I got a phone call. They just say they want to do an interview. So we did a phone interview with another. So when we interview, they still find 3 like nurses as a panel, like interviewers, interview me on the phone. Sometimes they interview on the like a video chat. That's more ideal, but that at that time I use phone and just answer their questions. So in Queensland, we have really they have a format. So they kind of fill out the form and they ask you 4 questions. And also like little questions like, why do you want to come here? And like, tell me about a little bit of your background, something like that. So that's how I got the job. And then the nurse manager is so funny. She goes, hey, if you drive, do you want to come to the community, just have a look before you accept the offer? And I said, no need to. I'm coming. Yeah. So I went there. The driving was, I split 2 days because if you drive in one go, it's 7-8 hours. And I was scared because I don't know what it's like to drive so inland, like so in the bush. So I split in 2 days. I stay in one of caravan park, and the hospital is, because it's really dry, and a lot of kangaroos comes out, and they will come close to like where human live, because just more water, longer grass. So we live in the nurses' quarter. You open the door, They are just in the yard. Yeah, that's how close you are with those wild animals. And so the setting is the hospital is multi-purpose hospital. We get 6 inpatient, like a long stay patients, like residents, kind of educated-ish, and another 6 beds is acute beds, and also like 1 emergency bed and 1 high dependency unit. So that's where you got your resource trolley and ventilator. Yeah. Yeah, what it's like. So you work with another nurse. In the morning, 2 nurses on the floor and 1 AIN. So we do all the things, just like we shower people as well. And well, not like you got AIN, so go get AIN to shower everyone, but no, like registrars, still need to shower people. So we just share. The workload is pretty chill. Sometimes we don't have any acute patients. And in emergency department, sometimes we're really busy. If we have a trauma, we'll need to retrieve patient, get a chopper to chopper them out. And sometimes we don't have any presentation in the day.
So what if so the place where you're working, how many bedded was that facility? Full completely?
It's two. I think it's 6, 7 beds, inpatient beds. So it's like a long-term, long stay beds. Those people live there. And then 6 acute beds, like inpatient, like a general ward. If people need to stay there, let's say people had UTI and they went septic, they will be needing to come into the hospital, have IVAB, so they will stay. Yeah, something like that. It was 6 beds. Sometimes it's empty. Sometimes you'll get 4 patients. So, but you still have 2 nurses. So if it's busy. You maybe look after 10 patients, like 4 acute patients, 6 long stay. Sometimes it's chill. There's no acute patients, so you just look after 2 nurses, look after 6 long-term patients, like long-term residents. So like compared to nursing home in the city, it's pretty good. But when you have emergency, you'll run off your feet because you're like the bars go off. Your long-term patient wants to go to toilet, but you got a patient in a high dependency unit. Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting.
What if you need to transfer them to a big hospital where they have more facility?
Sorry, what was the question?
What if you wanted them to be transferred to another hospital? Like if you want to transfer, what would
so mostly they go to Toowoomba. So Toowoomba is like maybe secondary or like regional, the big regional hospital. So we will get a helicopter. They will land in front of the hospital. So usually so one hospital, they have a helicopter pad in front of the hospital, and then the really small hospital I work in, the first hospital job I work in, they have like a strip, like airport, and they will get a fixed wing. That won't be chopper. There will be fixed wing. So you will have an ambulance take the patient to the airplane strip. So maybe 5 minutes drive, because the airstrip will be just on the edge of the town. Yeah. And then they will retrieve the patient to the hospital. And those patients could be sepsis patient, and we couldn't fluid resuscitate them. It's not successful. Like blood pressure still dropping, we'll retrieve them. Or the patient coming with DKA, yeah, something like that. Or big trauma like broken bones, knee surgery, they'll need to go. Yeah.
How was the town?
You mean the situation over there now?
How was the area where you were living? Like what? Like do you have bullies or coals over there?
Do I have
Bullies or coals? Woolworth?
Only clothes. Oh, no. So we have a really small supermarket. It's a footwork, not even IGA. It's some some rural town has IGA, oh, it's
Yeah.
small, but no, smaller than that. So it's footwork.
Mhm.
Things are really expensive. In the past, all right, when the interest rate is low, when we were not suffering inflation, the one pack of Tin Tan was like $7.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. And what else? Like in the past, in the a cauliflower is $7 a kilo or something. Yeah,
Oh,
really expensive.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
what did you do after that? Like, did you shift it to another place for work, or how was it?
Yeah, so I took 6 months at Camden. It's like so it's like you keep your job in the old hospital and you have 3 to 6 months to work in the other hospital and just to learn new
Mhm.
skills. Yeah. So there's another hospital. It's slightly bigger and the town is bigger. So the town is like 2,000 people town,
Mhm.
and they've got what's their structure? They will have three nurses during the day shifts and three nurses in the afternoon, two nurses in the night shift, which is a bigger hospital structure than the one I used to work in.
Mhm.
And I spent 6 months over, not even 6 months, 4 or 5 months, and just to, the people they've got, they're higher acuity, slightly sicker,
Mhm.
slightly busier, and they in their ED department they're busier, and so they have a like um registrar or PHO from Brisbane. They will work there in the ED, and yeah, so which is good. But like in the first place, we only have one doctor, and it's usually locum. Locum is like an agency doctor. So they'll come and work Monday to Friday during business hour, and they work in the private, like not private practice. It's owned by Queensland, run by Queensland, because no doctor wants to own it. So Queensland runs the practice. So the doctor will work there as a GP during the day, and if we have emergency during the day, we'll call the doctor. If not, well, like as a nurse, you're just trying to deal with those presentation. You do as much as you can because your doctor is busy.
Yeah.
They're seeing patient at the clinic. And during the nighttime, so after hour, if someone comes in and will need to you reckon you need to give pain relief to get a phone order, call your doctor. And the doctor usually will ask you, hey, do you think the patient's sick enough? Like, do you want me to come in to see the patient? And you'll need to say yes or no. Yeah, so it really requires nurses' assessment skills because they depend on you. If you do a really lousy assessment, it's not safe. Like if the patient's really sick and you reckon, oh, you can't see it, you say, oh, the patient's fine, and the doctors didn't come to see the patient, and if the patient deteriorates, it's just not safe. Yeah.
And so that time you were in the, like, as you said, a little bit better facility. It was having more nurses and
Like a bigger. I
bigger
was a big
place,
place.
bigger
So
place than.
uh so they have like a doctor work in the ED until 11 o'clock.
Oh.
Yeah. And they finish work, and then so after 11 o'clock till 8 o'clock next morning, they have doctor on call. The same. So the on call doctor, if it's emergency, you call your doctor, and the doctor needs to come in to see the patient. Yeah. Otherwise, during the day, they have a doctor in the hospital with patient. So until 11 o'clock. So that is better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's better. So for how did you stay there for 6 months?
Yeah, I stay there for maybe 5 months, and my old hospital, the smaller hospital, they just couldn't find nurses to work, so they needed me to go back to help out. So I went back to work there. So I finished my subcommon earlier. It was supposed to be 6 months, but I didn't do the complete 6 months. I just go back. Yeah.
So what after that? What after when you
So I worked there for a while, and then in that hospital, so the NUM offered me to step up to do an acting CN, clinical nurse. It's interesting, like in rural area, because really not many registered nurses there, and they also need to use like agency nurse a lot. So maybe sometimes they rather like promote you, let you do some acting roles, higher roles, like clinical nurse, even though you're still like really experienced, or maybe you just out of school 2 years or 1.5 years, and yeah, they ask you, hey, do you want to like it just maybe keep you stay there longer. Yeah. So I work as a CN, like a facilitator role to facilitate the like a new grad. For I think I can't remember how many months, 3 4 months, and then I applied for a job near in Darlington district, which that hospital is busier. Yeah, busier than the second hospital I worked in, slightly. And then I left Southwest District and went to Darlington. Yeah.
How far is that place where you went now?
So that
Like
place
this been
is-
my point of travel, starting the travel.
yeah. So I was moving closer and closer to Metro. So it was like it's 3 hours drive in the north. It's in the north of Brisbane, and 3 hours drive. Yeah. And it's really close to a indigenous community. It's not indigenous community, but really close to. So 10 minutes away, there's another hospital, and both hospital use one doctor on call, one same on-call doctor. So during the day, you have your own doctor on site. They see patient, they see inpatient. They don't work as GP, so they are just working in the hospital. But they see the patient in the ward, and then also if someone come in during the day in ED, they'll need to see them as well. So the doctor, just one doctor does that, and we had 13 inpatient beds, and yeah, sometimes it's 8 patients, sometimes it's full, can be busy, and waiting room we can have 3 4 people waiting in the waiting room, waiting to be seen. And the doctor, if the doctor is doing all around, really like it takes long time to get to see those patients in the ED if they're not urgent. Yeah. So, and we had structure will be 3 nurses on the day shift, and 2 nurses. I think 3 nurses in the afternoon. So it will be like 2 RNs and 1 ENs, like that. So 1 RN in ED, 1 RN on the wall, and 1 EN on the wall. So like 2 nurses on the wall, 1 nurse in ED. But if ED is quiet, ED nurse should come and help out with the wall stuff. And if ED is busy, the nurse on the wall will come help you out. So you really need to work as a team in rural area, because sometimes it's quiet, and you chill, you can chat, you have time spent with patient or doing something else, or cleaning environment, whatever. But sometimes it's really busy, and and the doctor's not there, you're busy, you need to send someone to call the doctor, send someone to grab the trolley, and you'll need to deal with the emergency.
So when you were working in when you were working in rural Queensland, what about your other nurses? Where were they from? Were they from were they Aussie or from?
Aussie.
Aussie.
most of them Aussie, and yeah, and they live in the rural area. Let me see. Do I have Asian nurses there? In my hospital, no. But I know 5 minutes away, the indigenous community, that hospital, they've got a couple were like who were Filipino. So yeah, they were Asian nurses over there, and I was the only Asian nurse. We have like two new grads. So we used to have American, and we also have American nurse working as a casual, and the rest of the nurse are Aussie. Sometimes we have a maybe Kiwi nurse as a agency. So if when we have agencies more, you will see more international nurses work as an agency nurse. That's interesting in our back. Yeah. But long term, no, not really. We have an Indian nurse who was a graduate nurse who was doing graduate program in Southwest. Yeah. And yeah, or British, where we had a British nurse who's on an international visa. She did her grad program in Southwest as well. So I would say if you're international, well, international nurses on visa, yeah, go to the bush, do your new grad over there. Yeah.
So what after that, when you went to this place where you were telling me, what was
Yeah.
the next step, and where did you work after that?
So after that 1.5 year, 2 years, I decided to move to the coast. So to the city. So I moved to the city, I decided to buy a unit. So I bought an apartment, and then I got a job first, and I want to live closer to the hospital. So I bought a unit later. Yeah. And now it's so different when I started to work in a big hospital. Because in the bush in Queensland, we were still using paperwork. So you do your ops on the paperwork.
Yeah.
And in the big hospital, they just use computer now. You have a portable workstation, and I think it's more efficient. Yeah, takes a bit to get your hands on, but once you get used to it, it's really useful. I don't know, like in South Australia, do you use
Now
computer?
they are using the electronic,
Yeah,
mostly
yeah, but
electronic.
like Queensland is so slow. Yeah, the
Maybe
regional area.
maybe in rural they might be using paper, but I don't think so. They might be using now because it's easier on the electronic stuff.
But I think all the nursing homes use them.
Oh yeah, I've been to a nursing home. It was, oh my God, it was so old and it was so haunting sort of area, and they were using paperwork, and I was shocked. Like seriously, you're still using paperwork?
Newspaper, yeah, I think newspaper were for how many people were there? The residents?
30.
13.
30,
13, 30.
33.
Right?
Yeah, 33.
Yeah. Yeah, 30 people, and you need to use paperwork. That's a lot. That takes forever to get the chart, flip to the page.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
for me. It was too much. I said, "Oh, I won't be doing much documentation than if it's seen."
Yeah.
So, one thing I wanted to know is, so you have been doing some rural stuff, and now you're in the city.
Yeah.
How much is like the demand of nurses? Is it still increasing, or like for people who are just starting their nursing? And some of the
Yeah.
people ask the question that like if we study nursing now, what after 3 or 4 years will we still able to get the jobs?
Yeah, I thought so. So demand for experienced nurses are always high. For example, the ED I worked in, some night shift we have like 10 nurses down. So we have to shut the area. Yeah. So I would say, but they don't hire nurses fresh out of school. Firstly, it's probably not safe.
Yeah.
And yeah, and even though they hire experienced nurses, they still require a lot of education because they work in different area. You learn different things, and ED is kind of busy, and people are sick. Yeah, but they just hire a lot of people from various backgrounds. So they hire people from private practice. They hire people from vaccination hub. They hire people from rehab. So I would say if you have 6 to 1 year experience, even in nursing home, whatever, you did your interview well enough, you'll still get a job in ED in a public hospital. So yeah, it's high demand, and they hire people every month.
So this is we are talking about in the metro city. What about rural area? Like if I'm a fresh graduate and I just want to work in hospital, should I apply in rural area? Will I be able to get jobs?
Yeah, if you're fresh out of school, graduate nurse, you want to work in a hospital, you don't want to go through nursing home route. I think the rural hospital is your only bet, but it doesn't mean it's easy. Yeah, it has its challenging. It's quite challenging. Yeah, it has its challenges. Yeah, you know you like you work with ENs, and ENs is more seniors than you, and you have to learn leadership before you even know other skills. And sometimes you could feel your resources, your education is not really abundant there, so the educators doesn't see you a lot because you share one educator in that district. And so she can only, or they can only spend a certain, like maybe 1 day a week, that's the most, in your facility to see how you goes. Yeah, and in that facility, if it's a really small hospital, you don't have many senior staff member, and they're not always on the shift either. And sometimes new grad, they try not to, so they try not to roster you with just one EN. But when you are a new grad and you're doing night shifts, there are only 2 nurses. You will be working with one EN. Yeah, that's the limited, situation over there.
Yeah, and so like we're coming close to our time. So what is life like? If you want to say a quick answer
Lifestyle.
about life in Australia.
Okay, so it's rural. You don't get to spend a lot of money eating out because there's not many restaurants there. And but you become really good friends with your workmates. It's more like, it will be more like family if you get along with your workmates. Yeah, because you live with your workmates. And a lot of people just travel. They travel out to the city or coastal for holiday once a month or once every fortnight if you're keen enough to go out. And that's a lot of driving. And yeah,
I'll do as we were talking about the country.
yeah.
So for like being in Taiwan, coming to Australia, what was the surprising stuff which you saw over here? Like for me, there was quite a few surprises. Like first of all, the cultural shock, the developed, as it is more developed than India, where I've been living from last 24, 25 years. So what other differences did you felt over here?
So firstly, I got to start driving when I was in Taiwan. I live in Taipei. I didn't need to drive, and I gotta learn how to drive. And it's kind of amazing when you learn to drive and you hold your like steering wheel. I just feel like I am an independent woman now. So that's one thing. Feel freedom, like really free. And the land is really big, so just just love it and get close to nature. Like when I was in Taiwan, I didn't go to the beach or like swim in the ocean, something like that, or went surfing. And now I live in Australia. Sometimes I go out for a surf, so close to nature. That's really good. And culture shock, yes. The language barrier, I think that's a big thing because like we don't speak English in Taiwan, so that's totally a second language to me.
Yeah.
And also, in Taiwan, like students learn American English, so the accents like we're used to is American accent. So when I came here, I struggle, and when I was a nursing student, struggle. Fresh out of school, started working, started working and struggle as well. Yeah. But I guess I just have this thick skin and I'll just, yeah, I don't know what you mean. You can spell it. I Google it. So what? I'll figure it out and I'll learn. Next time I'll know what it means. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
what other things? Yeah, continue.
What other things? Lifestyle-ish, language, transport, currency, I guess. When we came here, we thought, oh, Coke is expensive. Costs.
What's the difference between like what's Taiwan's currency at the moment? What currency are you using?
When I came here, it was 26 Taiwanese new Taiwanese dollars to $1 Australian. So right now, Australian dollar is continuing depreciation. So right now it's 20 to 1.
Oh.
Yeah. And yeah, when I came here, it was like $2 for a can of Coke, and I thought, it's expensive. It's double price. But right now, because you earn Australian dollars, so you kind of get used to it.
Yeah. Like if I'm coming from India, what I need to do is my basic requirement of studying nursing is English test. I'm not sure about if you're from Taiwan. Do you need to give any English test?
Yes, we do. We still do. Yeah, because we don't classify as English speaking country. Yeah. I took when I took OET for my license.
Yeah.
And for immigration purpose, I took PTE.
All right. Yeah. So which one was easier for you, OET or PTE?
OET was more expensive.
Yeah.
It was like $500 back then. So I was stressed and under a lot of pressure to just get the score I want at one go. Which one is easier? So OET, you've got a interviewer. Yeah, I think you got an interviewer and you got a scenario. So if you have work in the hospital, probably for Indian nurses, it will be easy, I guess, easier. Because I remember the question I was asked is a mom coming with a child and you were giving a Panadol and then the mom's asking you how to use this medication and how, like, what signs or like how does the mom know when it's time to give it? Yeah. So I think it was easy. Like she even asked me, I think quite clinical. I guess if you work as a nurse, you will know how to answer. because the interviewer asked me, look, the child is not talking, right? Because it's 3 year old, doesn't really speak properly. And how do I know if she's in pain? So then probably need a little bit of nursing knowledge to answer this kind of question. It says it doesn't test your nursing skills, but if you have nursing skill, it helps. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So, what's your like? Presently, you're working in hospital as a RN. Are you working in emergency or which area?
Yes.
What are your future plans? Do you want to
Oh,
continue nursing, or what have you thought?
do I want to continue this? I want to be a full-time YouTuber now. I'm joking. So I just figured out they have a scholarship to study postgraduate certificate, and I'm thinking to do it. So it's like the school like uni fee is a lot cheaper, like 1/10 of the original price if you want to study outside of the hospital. Like, but like if you're employed on the Queensland Health, you get you get subsidized to study. And after you study, you get really small, slightly pay rise, maybe $1 something more each hour. That could be upside. And yeah, I would spend 2-3 years in agents in emergency, I guess. Yeah. And I'll see. Sometimes I feel, I wanna do agency nursing. If I can travel a little bit, it'd be fun because I get bored easily. Yeah, but I don't know. I'll see.
Yeah.
How about you? What's your plan?
My plan is to do 2 or 3 years more and do some business kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
or
interested.
like do some business in like healthcare. But
Yeah.
like sometimes I feel like we're doing the same stuff every day.
Yeah.
I'm
Where do you work?
I'm presently working in nursing home. First of all, I want to get out of nursing home, and so that I can have a little bit of experience in hospital or some other settings.
Yeah.
And then see some business where I can work as per my choice. Like when I
Yeah.
want to work, I will work. When I don't want to work, I'll
Yeah.
not work.
Yeah.
Or if the plan is if I step into hospital, I'll think something of mental health.
Yeah.
Because I've seen presently, if you see in nursing home as well, I've seen 48-year-old person coming to nursing home because of the cognitive thing. So
Yeah.
I think mental health is growing. Mental health nurses are also good, and I met one yesterday, a lady yesterday. She was working as mental health nurse, and let's see. Hopefully, but can't say anything. And what other thing I want to know is how you started your YouTube.
Oh,
I like your quality of the video, the light you use, the camera you use. What equipments you use on it?
so I use Sony A7C, and I also have a softbox, a light. I can show you now because I'm using one now.
Oh,
It looks, yeah, I'll show you. So that's a big softbox I'm using. You see?
yeah.
It makes different. I don't know. I look cuter under the light.
And so
Yeah.
how did you start at nursing? Oh, sorry, the YouTube.
YouTube. I don't know. I was a fan of a big YouTuber. Now he's getting bigger and bigger. His name is Ali, and he preaches how to be productive and how to study effectively. And I was like looking up his how to study effectively video, and then being a big fan of him, he has a course for a beginner YouTuber, or like just for YouTuber who wants to do YouTube online. And he just kept saying doing YouTube changed his life. And I was like, okay, what's so fascinating about this? So I took his course and start, because you took course, you need to do homework, right? And so that channel, first 5 videos was my homework. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I started that, and I don't know what my niche is, but I just put out contents of what my daily life uh, is like, look like, and what's my work. Spend a lot of time at work. So I thought, oh, I can talk about nursing, what it's like to work in Australia as a nurse, and yeah, and what it's like to do a placement in the rural area, and how much you make as a fresh out uni nurse, and what else? I vlog a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few video. I saw your video where you said, I think you made 100K in 1 year something. That there was a video about.
Yeah, I think it's still valid. So if you do a grad program in the Outback,
Mhm.
they would get you to do point nine. So point nine means night shifts
Nice.
for 4-9, right? And one means full time for 4-9. And so point nine is quite high, and in the rural area, it's not as busy as in the city. So sometimes you get to do full time even, but if you get a grad program in the city, they were so like RBWH. My friend at the same time she got a grad program in at RBWH, the Royal Brisbane Women's Hospital, biggest in Queensland, biggest hospital in Queensland. She got to work 0.7, so 7 shifts for 4-9. Yeah. I guess because they hire more new grad, so the hours diluted, and their resources to educate those nurses diluted as well. So that, and also it's busier, so it's harder to work full time there. Yeah. So if you get a job in the Outback, you work full time, you'll easily make 100K.
Is there any pay difference if you're working in metro or the rural area?
It is. So equipment is different, and the things you do, and also in the city, you get a doctor 24/7. But I would say like assessment skill or scope, like the things you can do in the metro area decrease. For example, in my hospital, you need to be signed off to put an IDC. But like if you are in a nursing home, you can just put an IDC, because if you don't do it, who else do it?
Yeah.
Right? But in the city, they are stricter, and more people, I guess. So senior nurses or the doctors can do it, or even take bloods in the ED, like even taking bloods. They sometimes they say, if you're busy, you need to do your nursing assessment and complete your documentation first before you take pathology. Otherwise, leave it to the doctor to collect bloods. So that's how limited scope in the city. But like in the Outback, you do a lot of assessment, and you will just like if a patient coming with an abdominal pain, you will just do all the survey. You do your vital sign, do a urine test, and when you hand over to the doctor, call the doctor, you will do a like quite a detailed handover, and then tell the doctor where the pain is. So you'll need to palpate it. Tell the doctor it's right upper quadrant, and what kind of pain, and when does the pain started, and if there's any urinary symptoms or any bowel symptoms. So you'll need to do a really good survey before you call the doctor. And if you suck, the doctor could be like, probably will be impatient, or like haven't you asked these questions before you talk to me, like yeah. So
But
that's
it's
a big
good. But what I have seen is, if you're working in rural areas, it's good to learn many different things over there. You get to
yeah
learn. You get like, as you said, in city, you won't get to learn those skills which you are able to do in the rural because of one point is lack of staff or
And another thing is like, look, if you just graduated in the city, sometimes your manager wouldn't allow you to learn venipuncture or cannulation. But if you work in the rural area, you need to learn it for the first, probably really early on. And you also need to learn how to triage pretty early on as well. Depend how small the facility is. If the facility is slightly bigger, like I say 2,000 people town or like 3,000 people town, maybe work after 6 months and the manager's happy, you like your ability to work in the war is quite well. Like they may allow you to learn venipuncture or cannulation. But in a smaller facility, you need to learn how to do it really quickly. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, so
Yeah.
thank you so much, Ejia. You gave us so much details about what exactly rural nursing is.
Yeah. Do you consider to work in the rural area?
I went to like there was a place in South Australia, Mount
Yeah.
Gambier. It's like
Oh, I applied a job there, didn't get it when I was desperate. I
yeah.
yeah.
They gave it was a nursing home. They gave me full time and it was not for profit, salary sacrifice stuff. And I thought the pay was good, but when I worked over there, the pay was not what I was expecting. And the other thing was I felt a little bit lonely
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it was a
Loneliness.
small town. So at 5 o'clock, everything is shut down, and
Yeah.
no one is there on the roads. But yeah, if I have my family with me over there, if like I have my friends over there, it's different. It's
Yeah.
sometimes it's really a good place to enjoy. Yeah, you don't have that much hustle over here. Now you have to, if you are going in a city, you need to travel 30 minutes from one place to another. Over there, you
Yeah.
can do it in 5 minutes, and you are close to the nature as well. What I saw over there, and it's good to explore
Yeah.
instead like staying in one city. Like I thought of doing travel nursing as well. I've been thinking of one of my friend does travel nursing.
Yeah.
She have been to many different places in Queensland as well. I thought of doing that as well, but hope hopefully I'll try it one day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll
that's
be fun.
that's what
Yeah.
my thoughts are. Yeah. So thank you so much, Ejia, for all your experience which you shared with us. And I'm keep making some videos. I haven't seen your video from a long time.
Oh yeah. I will because I have been back to Taiwan for holiday 5 weeks.
Oh,
So
how
yeah.
was it? How is it over there? All good?
It was hot, humid, and I ate a lot. But like the last day, I
Mhm.
was the last day I was flying back to Australia. That Nancy Pelosi
She.
visited Taiwan, and yeah, and China
I,
sent like
I,
jets around Taiwan.
I was about to talk about that, and recently, like I'm aware about the country, but now it's in the news. Oh my God, everyone,
All
Taiwan,
over the
Taiwan,
news.
Taiwan.
Yeah, so there were some flights were canceled to the United States. The flights from Taipei to United States, planes get canceled. But like I'm lucky because the aircraft to Australia was still flying.
Mhm. So, if
Yeah,
I just want to know if you're okay to tell us about it because I don't know much about the history of Taiwan. I
yeah.
checked it on. I saw quite a few videos. Like, I think it's about the if you're okay to speak on it. What exactly is the dispute between China and Taiwan?
So they had civil war, right? So two parties was fighting. One is Kuoming Party, like I don't know how to translate to English. So one party led by Chiang Kai-shek and another party led by Mao Zedong, like a CCP,
Mm,
and they fought. So and then the Chiang Kai-shek Chiang Kai-shek lost the war, the civil war, so they kind of fled to Taiwan.
Mhm.
Yeah. So and they in the past they both of them say they are China, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so the Chiang Kai-shek was on the table with like I think as the top four countries
Mhm.
on the in I think UN.
Mhm.
And then because UN accepted CCP, so Chiang Kai-shek just
Then
said,
China,
no,
China
because
Communist Party? Is that CCP, China Communist Party?
yeah, CCP communist, yeah,
Mhm.
Chinese Communist Party, or I don't know the full name, but we call them CCP. That party, yeah, Communist Party. Um, yeah, so Chiang Kai-shek said, no, I'm not. So Chiang Kai-shek just quit UN, and after quit UN, we couldn't go back anymore because like there's no Taiwan because Taiwan is not a country. So it's right now it's like that. But like we elect our own president and we use our own passport. So yeah. And we, as people say, we self-govern. We have our education system, election system, and
I've heard about
democratic. Yeah,
I've heard about like Taiwan is really good in the chips and coding and those stuff.
yeah, doing chips and private jets, like not jets, like yachts. We export yachts, like fancy, luxurious yachts. And what else? A lot of mountains on the island, good food. Many people who really dance, but nice dance as in India. And yeah, that's currently, yeah, China just wanna, yeah, keep threatening. Yeah. They wanna take the Taiwan back.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they
but the way America, like what's her name, Nancy Pelosi, she landed over there, and it was, I think they already warned her not to go to Taiwan or something.
Yeah, no, they don't, because they reckon Taiwan is part of them. So Nancy doesn't need to go to Taiwan because Taiwan is not country, I think, to their opinion, and they get to decide who visits Taiwan, I guess. And Nancy thought, no, you don't decide how American wants to do what their own business, like, yeah.
So did
So
China, so did China send their jets towards Taiwan or something like that?
yeah, around it, and they fire missiles across Taiwan. So that's really
Oh,
intimidating. That was really, yeah, intimidating.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a sign. That's a, like, from far what I could see is like the same how Russia and Ukraine are having that thing.
Yeah.
A similar sort of maybe, but shouldn't
Yeah.
be
So
there.
yeah, we worried. We're worried. Yeah. Yeah.
That's all right. We'll have everything all right soon. And thank you so much again for sharing all your experience. And
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
yeah, thank you so much. And I'll be looking for your YouTube videos now. And
Thank you.
I'll share your channel's link in the description for all the subscribers who are watching, so that they can go and see more about you or more about your videos. And I'll see you soon whenever, if we have something else, or if you are coming to Adelaide, feel free to message me.
Yeah, sure.
Surely
Yeah.
catch up. Yeah.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day. Have a good sleep. Are you working tonight?
No.
All right, then you can
Finish my,
enjoy.
yeah.
Then you can enjoy your weekend now. All right,
No.
Ejia, I'll see you later then. Thank you so much.
Bye.